Gamers, it is I, the People's Machine, coming back at you with another exciting episode of the Gaming Roundtable, and as promised, bringing you Dungeons of Sundaria. I have to say it that way. It sounds better than just saying Dungeons of Sundaria. It's better to say Dungeons of Sundaria. Very fantasy-like. This is the character I've been playing as. His name is Gillidan. It's a name that I use pretty much for a lot of my male characters in RPGs, and although I haven't painted his helmet, and this is not what he looked like when I started the game, but I kind of painted him up, which is something you can do in the game with the Warhammer colors of the Ultramarines. It's pretty cool. This is my character, and all the loot you earn in the game is definitely in the game. It is kind of a old school meets new school, modern kind of like action RPG where you're in the dungeons. And we're going to start out not showing you this character. I want to show you the creative player, and I will make a new character. Characters can be switched to at any time, and so we're going to create a new hero. So right off the bat, though, we need to go down here and get rid of these traits because that's like the face paint, so you can see the character. You can make males or females. There is the human. You can play as a champion. This is how you started out looking. That is a shield throw that you do earn. Of course, as you've seen, my champion looks different. You can play as a cleric, which is pretty cool. You also shield, warhammer, and whatnot. You can play as a ranger, which is your archer. Of course, your rogue character, thief, and you can play as a wizard, which is pretty cool. You can also play as, so if I go back to champion, you can play as a dwarf, you can play as an elf, you can play as a halfling, and you can play as an orc, which is pretty cool. So you have those characters. You can play female characters as well, so which is pretty neat. Again, female, dwarf respectively, elven woman, halfling, and orc girl, which is pretty ugly as sin. And but we're gonna go and with a female, and we could play this rogue if I want to. The ranger I have played as is pretty OP, to be honest with you, especially with their poison over time effects. I have not actually played a wizard yet, or a cleric, and I played the rogue and champion. So let's do a wizard because. And we'll do like a female. We'll just do a human female. Why not? You do have some options, like I said. As you see, the elf was pretty tall. So they're classic kind of elves, tall. You can make your character very short. Max height here. Change the skin color around. Lighter skin, whatever, darker. You do have a couple different faces. 3 different faces to choose from. And some are better. You know, they're pretty much fair. You can kind of look at it from the side to judge which face. To me, I like the second face. I think that works. If you want to do different, I'll do blue eyes. It is kind of hard to see. I will wish you could zoom in a little bit better, but that's okay. We're going to go with this. There are a variety of hairstyles, as you can see here, to choose from. Let's figure what I like. I like that one's pretty cool. I think we're going to go with that one. That looks good. Let's see here. You got a few colors. You got your blonde, brown, of course your red, and then dark brown, and then black, and then if I wanted to go like a white-haired girl. Skin color-wise is nice because if you play an elf, you can make them a drow with the gray kind of skin, which I like. We're gonna go with blonde, and we're gonna check this out. You do have traits. These are like face paint you can put on them, which you get. They all the same. They had different like things. It's mainly cosmetic to kind of give you that kind of base here. You can do a randomization as well. So you hit create. You hit X. You want to name them. I will name. A lot of my characters I named Sundaria, especially if they're females. I'm going to hit create hero. And you're going to come here into the town. Now, I have read that the original idea of the game, they were going to have like a hub world and you could walk around and interact, but they did not put that ultimately in the game. When you do make a new character from scratch, they will send you through the questline tutorials. These are what they call silent type quests, and I'll show you what I mean. You're going to move around to the different areas here, and the first thing you want to do is start at the top and go to the guild house. And there is no voice acting, which I was a little disappointed in, all things considering, but there you have it. Each species is though there's an elite scout, fighter, cleric, wizard, and of course the master rogue. But you will talk to, since I'm playing a wizard, you talk to the wizard. He's just going to say, he doesn't actually speak, so there is no voice acting, but it says, Sundaria, human wizard from the town of, oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't here. At your service, it's so great to have another wizard in town. We are in short supply. Hit accept. He says, I've been studying magic for years and have learned a great many things. I'll be happy to teach you for a small fee. I know, and I know we have to look out for one another, but did you see me out? But did you... But I can't talk. But you did seek me out, didn't you? I mean, I am Elder Magi Garrick, twice Magi of the Month in Galdrin's Weekly. Stop back by when you need a refresher on the latest magic. Man, I can't talk. But you have a variety of spells. These are the different books he sells. So that's fine. Once you do that... Sorry for yawning, guys. I've been up since 5. You want to go to the tower? Talk to this goblin dude. He's a master alchemist. He says, oh, hello, I didn't see you there. How can I help you? I have little time to spare. Hit accept, and it's just a reward right off the bat. Well, for starters, I'm Master Alchemist Morfek at your service, and you, if I had to guess, a wizard. Yes, I don't know, that I'll never show. I'll try to help out the town to the best I'm able, brewing concoctions at my alchemy table. You seem a kind soul, no doubt new to this hole. I was about to run out to drop off his elixir. Shingen needs help or he is done for sure. This goblin talks in rhyme. Hit complete quest. He tells you to go to Singen. It's a lot to read, but essentially he talks about how this guy had some kind of bad encounter and he's sick. Hit accept. Hit close. Back out. Go here to the hovel. Talk to Singen. He just asks you what you want. He wants to suffer in peace, whatever's going on with him. And you complete the quest. Go away and leave me be. Hit back. Then you want to go to the guardhouse. You want to talk to Captain Laurent. He says close. So you want to back out and, go to the blacksmith first. Talk to blacksmith Cadric. He says, hello there. How can I help you today? Hit accept. And he basically says... Excuse me, I'm Master Blacksmith Cadric. You need armor weapons. I'm your dwarf. Basically, you're staying for long. Small talk. Hit complete quest. He also gives you the quest for looking at for finding fragments to make better weapons and armor with. This is an ongoing quest that you can accept it, and you can complete the accepting of it. But it's an ongoing quest. And then he looks for fortune. You complete quest. This is what he's looking for. Kind of tells you what he needs. And again, talks about that. I mentioned extra materials. Blah, blah, blah. Hit accept. And then if you complete it, he gives you common essence. And just to give you an example. And then I've got to get back to work. Then he won't have a quest line. But this is where you go to change your character's appearance. You can't do it right off the bat, but you can change every piece of gear and armor. Most of them have 3 colors you can pick from. So if I wanted to go let's go the black there, and then let's do this purple, this blue. Or probably want to do this purple, and then go back to black on the buttons there, which is pretty neat. What I can do though, and again, you go to your shoes. And you're going to change these. So I changed the purple there, stitching. We'll go purple on those. And then you would do the pants. And again, I don't have the money, but I can show you exactly what it does. It's pretty neat. And again, you get to keep You like those colors once you're done. He doesn't actually give you a quest line, but you want to go back to wait. You want to go back to the inn. This is where you'll talk to Samrock. He says, "Welcome to Sewer Dub. What can I get you? Just hit accept. You're new in town." He gives you grog. He wants you to complete it. Blah blah blah. Hit complete. And he says, talk to Lena. You accept that. You close it up. You talk to Lena. Lena talks about, she gives you a quest. You know, you complete it. And something about missing townsfolk. And she's looking for somebody specifically. It's actually someone that she plans on marrying. That's a spoiler, guys. Close that up. Now I basically have talked to everybody. And I'm going to go ahead and go out into the game map. There are 4 big dungeons. You will start actually at the Crypt of Horrors. You will not be able to go to the other ones. And we're going to start. You have 3 different difficulties, hard and nightmare. And it talks about where you're going. And it just says, Stone Crypt was once the final resting place for kings and noblemen alike. But now, with the occupation of the wicked Dark Moon clan, it has become known as the Crypt of Horrors. In their necromantic pursuits, the Dark Moon clan has been tirelessly raising things that can only be described as abominations. With depths currently unknown, the crypt is ripe for plunder of unimaginable wealth and artifacts of power. Hit it on normal, we're going to go. Now, I do have the music and the effects and stuff turned down, but when I start playing it here, I'll go ahead and turn it up, turn it back up, and that way you can hear some of the sound effects. If I can get this to here we go. It was acting kind of silly. Okay, it's kind of running a little jank. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and put these back to where they were. The music's actually really good in the in-house, especially when you get into the cathedral. I like it. I hit apply, and we're going to close it. And I'm a mage. Apparently I'm using a wand, which is fine. Just real quick, in your inventory, which you can hit the screen, it shows you your abilities. You can key map them to different things. You have different sets you can set up. You have heroism, which is at level 16, which doesn't seem like a lot. You get these additional abilities, kind of like the legendary levels in Diablo. It takes a while to level up. So they are pre-made. And even though if you complete them or even fight some of the bosses, when you leave and you come back in, it'll actually say, would you like to continue where you left off, or would you like to start from the beginning? And in the beginning, it resets everything, including, even though the dungeon layout will be the same and everything will be the same and the same enemies were the same areas, the loot, of course, is randomly generated like Diablo. And yes, it is old school looking, so don't expect like the best graphics. It definitely seems like either a game from the Xbox 360 era, PS3 era. The moon's nice. I like the moon, and the clouds are moving by subtly, and everything animates really nice. You have the ability to roll and jump. That's tied to your sticks. Oh, by the way, if you can play split screen, you can play online with up to 4 people. You can play split screen with 1, 2, or 3 other controllers. So 4 of you could play on one game, and they'll split it up into 4, which is very old school, man. That's like old school N64 days. But you can do that. You can both play together on one game. It's a $20 game, so it's totally worth it if you want to play a game together, or you can play online. There is a caveat to that, though. Something that they might be doing later in this game. They are actually, if I have a level, let's say 10 character, and you're level 1, the enemy's level scale to the highest level character in the party. So if you join in and you're low level, you might get smacked around a bit. So keep that in mind. Also, bosses drop a boss chest, and if you're fighting it together, and I kill the last boss, I get the final hit, I actually get the loot. So, but we're gonna go from so it's a little jank on that, but they are planning on fixing that, and they also are adding a couple more classes and they're adding 2 more areas to the game, new dungeons. So let's go ahead and get into it. You can jump and roll at the same time in the air, which is kind of funny. But, you know, but again, it's like playing an old, I don't know, it just reminds me of some old 360 stuff. But I just love this game. I don't know. It's a type of game in that genre of action RPG and loot, but it has that old school kind of sensibilities. As you see, your abilities are mapped to the buttons. Triangle I can block with, and since this is more or less a ranged character, I'm throwing fireballs out with a wand. Boom. And you're just gonna loot. So I got a mending cloak from them. That's green. They have the rarities of white, green, blue, purple. You know, classic, what to be expected with loot-based games. A lot of stuff like this can be destroyed. You can create builds. There are builds for tank, builds for DPS, builds for... So because even it's up to 4 players can play online, it's really interesting. And I like that aspect. So it kind of shows you all the stuff I've already received. A piercing trinket. And I got a ring, which is great. So we're going to go into my inventory. Check this out. You start off with 5 pages of inventory, so you get quite a bit. This will tell you what it gives you. You equip with square, which says use. Now, as you see here, you see the, you know, and you have comparisons. So, I will lose 1 magic resistance, as you can tell. I will lose a little bit of spell power, so you don't want that. These little trinkets here, Apprentice Belt. That's, as you can see, it's designed more for melee power. So that would be good for a melee class, but not necessarily spell. Doesn't mean you can't wear it if you don't want, because it will give you better armor. It's just saying certain things are better for others. So it's always good to see what we got. Here's a mending cloak. So I'm going to wear that since it's got bonus healing. So yeah, I got my cape on now. You can sort. It will sort it. And you go from there. This is a great staff. As you can see, better spell power and better damage. So I'm going to use a staff instead of a wand. There's also in the game like a ball that you can get, like a crystal to shoot stuff out of. But we're going to use the staff. See, it's kind of neat. Little crystals flying around. This is like, you know, stuff you can do. I have various spells and stuff I can do. Boom, like that, which is pretty cool. So and like I said, if you want to know the abilities and what they do, this is Fireball, Magic Missiles, Chaos Orb, and it tells you all it does. Cauterize your wounds, so you got healing. All the classes have a way to heal themselves in one way or another. That's like Magic Arrow. You got your block and you have your melee attack, which is not mapped, but you can, you know, map it if you like. Let's see here. So the circle. So I can use my staff as a weapon, kind of a last resort kind of thing if I wanted to do that. So that's kind of cool. And we're going to see. I wore that cape, and now I have a cape, and we're going to go into the dungeon here, the crypt here. One of the things I like real quick is I was playing the game. I got to the cultist leaders in this big area I was fighting in, and then I went down this stuff, and then I was in the sewers, and then the sewers led out to like a cave portion that connected to, so everything feels real organic and connected. There is no minimap. A lot of stuff's going to be based on your memory, so it is old school in that regard, so keep that in mind. But it's not that bad. It's not nowhere near as bad as you might think. So we're going to go ahead and throw these fireballs out. Boom. Got him. You know, you want to look for stuff. You want to destroy like the barrels and stuff. There is loot in them, which is nice. If I want to use my, I think I can destroy these with typically, but I don't know if the wizard can. But we'll destroy them using a fireball there. I just got a heavy crossbow. Yes, need to find a rune stone. Very gauntlet. That's funny that you say that, John, because I bought this game mainly because while it doesn't have the same camera perspective, it just kind of reminded me of Gauntlet. I don't know why. It's just that maybe the graphics. I don't know. Here's this guy here. Launch magic missile at him. And the spellcaster, by the way, can't take a lot of damage, but man, the spells are devastating. Destroy that stuff. And what's nice about the stuff that you destroy, it stays destroyed. It doesn't disappear. That's a good way to mark where you've been. And I love it. I love it. And I don't know, there is just, this game has this weird charm. And I don't know what it is. The magic missile is devastating. Interestingly enough, I'm surprised to see that the mage doesn't have like a mana meter. It's just your abilities. So it's very kind of old school in that regard. Oh, dodge that. Gotcha. It seems like the mage is pretty OP, magic user-wise. But as you see, not a lot of hit points to start. I took one hit and it took a quarter of my life. So you do heal when you're out of combat. Another feature of the game. And you're going to go through these. That door there is locked, but there's a switch in this room over here. I'm telling you, you know, yeah, it's not perfect by any stretch, and there are, of course, far superior RPGs out there, but this is that, I just love the loot system. I haven't played a game like this in so long, and it reminds me of a lot of games. I used to play a game on the original Xbox called Arx Fatalis that was kind of similar to this. Gauntlet, it reminds me of that. It reminds me, there's several games it reminds me of. Magic Missile was always, it automatically pretty much hits, just like in D&D. So you can't miss. And I destroy everything because, again, I've gotten a lot of good loot out of it. And there's a little bit of a spell combo. You whip that around like so, and pretty cool. There is an auto aim feature. You can turn it off. So I'm doing that, and then I don't know if I think I need to go and let's see here. Is it this room? Yeah, here's the switch. So you gotta wait to prompt you. There you go. This game is so worth the $20. It really is worth your time and the money, because I've had just oodles of fun with it. I love it. I just love this game. I fell in love with it pretty much like within probably 20-30 minutes of playing it. I just thought it was neat. I hadn't played anything quite like this in such a long time, and it was just great to play. More loot. To be honest with you, John, this is interesting you say that, because it's long. So where my other character's at in the game, I went through the first part of the cathedral, down through an entire labyrinth of sewers, down to this weird like cave system that led out to like this opening back outside that led to another cave system to another part of this temple that looks like kind of like what it looks now. And I'm still not at the actual boss. I have fought 3, like, well, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, like 7 like named characters, and they list in the compendium as bosses, but not the boss. Like every dungeon has a really big boss. That took with the champion. I'm not at the end of the Crypta Horrors here. I've been playing it for a couple days. They're just big, and it's nice that it saves and it has a very healthy save point system. I like that. See, I gotta go. There's a guy over here. So I'm not sure. I'd say if you went straight through, I would say you could get to the main bosses. They're usually these really big creatures. I actually scratched that. I fought like 8. Now that I think about it, but it's man, like it's long, which is interesting. They don't just give you these short snippets. You know, you can play them for a while. I gotta loot that guy. Oh, while I'm here, and I can check my inventory. See, they give you lots of loot. I mean, it's pretty spectacular with the random loot generation that this game has. Like, this gives you a hat. It gives me good range power, so if I want to put the hat on, I can. Magic gauntlets of battle, that increases my spell power. That decreases it. Not too much there. And again, it's just good. Now here's nice. Mending Cloak of Haste. Get bonus speed. Spell power stays the same, so we're going to wear that instead. I'm going to take that helmet off. I don't like the way it looks. But, you know, these other things I can look at and see what else I've got. There's your wands. I could actually equip that, but you're not going to be as good as a melee fighter. But there are builds. I've seen people do like a mage build, because there are weapon sets, as you can see there. You can set up and switch to. Yeah, you can jump out and go to the town, and then come back to where you left off, which again, very nice to have that. So I'm just looking to see what I've got here. When you sort it, it just sorts it. You can't really do it by rarity, but if you see here, that says 0 damage compared to Great Staff. It shows you you'll lose some stuff, but food duration, spell power, and critical damage. So this is another style type of weapon I can use, which is this orb. Oh, that's right, I haven't met the requirement yet. I forgot about those. Those are a little different. You have to meet a certain requirement. So we're gonna re-equip my staff. Yes, but once you do, I forgot, because you gotta be certain levels, and then you learn these weapon abilities. But now that I've gotten those 2 switches, this will be unlocked. Also reminds me of a game on 360 I own, which is an arcade title. This is the first mini boss you will fight, is that guy there. I love like the vaulted look of everything. It also reminds me of another game I have. Maybe not as good at combat, but pretty good. Another game on 360 I absolutely love. Lord of the Rings: War in the North. Love that game. That game is criminally underrated with its loot systems and stuff too, and plays similarly to this. Those wolves suck, by the way. I hate fighting them because they have a high agility, so they're kind of hard to fight. There's a weapon rack here, so that's pretty neat. Got a dark moon fragment in there. Sometimes you get the fragments, sometimes you get weapons. It just depends. And again, this game rewards like the exploration factor. You know, to try to bust everything out and get the loot. It's good to do to get all this stuff. Let's see here. And again, you'll be fighting this boss here in a second. He's like this wolf master, and I'll show you what happens. And every class, what I've played so far, including this, it just feels different than the next. It's nice. There's differences. Like the champion, I have a nice little Captain America style shield throw that's and has a variety of interesting skills. My character can turn their skin to like stone for so many, you know, seconds, and that's useful in the game. I played a archer, and the archer has like a poison arrow shot they can do right off the bat, and it does damage over time. It's pretty, I mean, it's all good stuff. Like, it really is good stuff right off the bat. It just has some, like it's the elements of Dungeons and Dragons. It's great. This is just, it's such a great game. Like I said, this is going to be the first boss, essentially. Boom, look at all that damage. It did so much damage to that wolf. He is Wolfmaster Link. What's weird is they do the weird smoky doors like Dark Souls, which is, it looks pretty cool.
The pack.
Those magic missiles are just ridiculous. So I better do some healing. Oh, I'm gonna die, and I die. Gotta respawn. Yeah, can't take a whole lot of damage, it looks like, as a wizard. My fighter can. That's okay, because the Wolfmaster, I don't think will have... I don't think he heals, as far as I know. I don't think he does.
The hunt is on.
No, he heals. I thought for some reason that they don't. I was right.
Rally the pack.
Oh, he's dead. He defeated Wolfmaster Lane. Oh, damn. Not again. As far as I know, I don't know if you have any kind of penalties for dying. I haven't looked at that to see, but I don't think so. But I could be wrong. You might lose experience or something. So, but he's the first boss. Boom, gain the level. All right. Like I said, the boss doesn't drop. He just drops a boss check. So, a boss chest check. What am I thinking? But yeah, I can go in here. Just kind of look, see my spell power goes up, my armor goes down, but it kind of shows you like what it does. Oh crap, I'm getting attacked, and it's not. Yeah, co-op's probably pretty boss. You can't really pause this game, so, and you gotta wait till pretty much all the enemies are gone. But we're gonna see what we got here. Let's see here. You know, get that staff. Okay, go back. And it's good to look, like I said, to look over your loot, see if you got anything decent. These trinkets are good to have. I'm gonna put that in there. That looked pretty good. Invoker's Glove, spell power. I mean, you lose a little bit of bonus. You gain deflection and glancing blow, which is good. So we're gonna give her those gloves. And let's see here. Reinforced belt. Printer's the one. It's a short sword. So far, so good on this. And here's your character. And it shows your health, defensive, and your resistances and things like that. When you gain a level, it's again like old school RPGs. You can't distribute points and stuff. It just does it for you. So we're gonna go on. And this is in here. And go through here after fighting the first little mini boss. You know, chains here. You're gonna be dealing with people. But like I said, if you want to leave and go back to town, you can at any time, which is nice. You need to sell stuff or whatever, so you can go back to your last checkpoint, or you can go to town. Let's go to town. And again, this is such a great game, and you know, I don't really care that, you know, maybe graphically it's not where it needs to be, but the customization is great. I love the different classes, the different things you can do. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit Oh, whoa, man, take a look at that. So you found a fragment, master wizard. This is no ordinary magic item. It's pure and not yet forged to purpose. I might be able to make this into something very fine for you, but we need you to decide on a weapon fragment or an armor fragment. Bring me more, and that's all he is. He's asking you to bring him stuff. Hit complete quest. Go to your cell, and anything you don't need, you can actually select all if you want to sell everything. You can do it by certain rarities if you just don't want to sell all your greens or all your blue, whatever. So you can do that. So we're gonna hit sell selected, and there you go. This stuff you won't sell any fragments or quest stuff like that. Healing potions, you'll never sell it. You got your various recipes you can find for crafting. You can salvage stuff, which is great, and then you can buy stuff. You can buy patterns. Patterns are what help you craft stuff. So there's different stuff, and since I have gold, what I can do is, we can say, well, I think for the cape here, let's see here, we'll color it. We'll go let's do some black, and then the second color we'll do that purple scheme like we were doing, and then we'll hit buy, and then we'll go up here to the pants, and if I want to do like a purple pants, I can, which looks pretty cool, and then we'll do black trim, and then hit buy, and then we're going to do her boots. We'll do this first. We'll do like I said, I could go black, but I'm going to go purple, and then I'll go black, so that way it looks a little better. And we'll go with that, and buy it, and then favor her gloves. We'll see. We do purple there, black there, and then black. Hit buy, and then you want to go up to the bracers. I want to actually do black, and black. I just colored whatever. Got a little purple in the braces there. And like one of the gold I think is equivalent to like 97 or 100 silver. And then we're going to get her shoes. Again, we're going to do black. We're going to do purple. And then we're going to do black again. There we go. And there's my character now with different look, which is pretty cool. We're going to go into, and again, if I want to go back to the dungeon, as I was shown earlier, Crypto Horrors, and then it says, would you like to resume your dungeon or last checkpoint, or start it from the beginning, at which that boss guy will come back. Just hit resume. So it gives you I think it starts you at the closest checkpoint or whatever, but no, this is a great game. And there's going to be people out here who are going to shit on it and say, well, I don't like it, graphics are old, or blah, blah, blah. No, Dungeons of Sundaria is a blast. I bought it on Thursday night, came out Tuesday. It's amazing. Yeah, there you go, adding 4 dungeons in the year. I read 2, so this is good, so there's going to be 8. No, it's great. I mean, for $20. Oh, I'm getting attacked. Oh, shit. Who's attacking me? Oh, this guy. Kind of reminds me a little bit of not graphically, but it does kind of remind me of playing the mage in what's the game? Dragon Age. Well, great, 4 dungeons. Yeah, that's great. But I love, like I said, I just love the concept. The concept's great, So it's like playing an old game with these modern loot systems, and I just think that's great. Boom, gotcha. And I don't know. It scratches an itch I didn't even know I had, essentially, is what it's doing. Let's see here. Okay, so I went back to town and it took me resume to the last checkpoint, which is the checkpoint. Kind of sucks. It put me back. I'll have to open up the things again or whatever, like and hit the switches. It's not that bad. Like, one of the things about the game that I will admit that I like is that at first I didn't think I would like not having a mini map, not having, you know, the ability to like see where I'm going, but that's very hand-holding. I like the fact that this game doesn't do that, and they make you kind of pay attention to your environment. Not that it's like Dark Souls or anything like that, by no stretch, or even it's not even the same genre, but to not have a map and you just kind of have to rely on your memory and and like I said, because stuff, once you destroy it once, as long as you don't go back to town, apparently this stuff just stays destroyed. So it's a good way to say, oh yeah, I've been here or I've been there. It's fantastic. The music that's playing, which is this kind of ominous, dark kind of music. The thing about it is, it reminds me of, there's this game on the another original Xbox, and I used to get it confused with Arx Fatalis, but it's not. It's a first-person RPG that takes place underground, like in its entirety. Like the whole thing is like underground. And I don't remember the exact name of it, but the music was very similar, and that's what this reminds me of in that respect. But oh crap, wizard outlook here. But I love it. So fucked it up. Gosh, I wish I could remember the name of that one game. But I know it's an RPG and you're underground the whole time. I remember that much about the game. I just don't remember what it was called. And I used to play it a lot. But like I said, this game reminds me of several different games that I used to play. And after playing this for just a few minutes, it just made me think, it kind of reminds me of Gauntlet in a way, and it kind of reminds me when you're, this magic here in particular, a little bit of Dragon Age, and it kind of reminds me of this game and that game and Arx Fatalis and old games and Ruin and different things. And so stuff I played on a PC, it was like an amalgamation of some of my favorite games, and I love it. Let's see here. Here we are. Now he will be gone, the boss, and you can go into your journal and go down to bosses, and it shows who you taken care of. And he was like the first thing you end up fighting. And onward. Well, it says I reached the checkpoint, so that's good. Alright. Tell you what though, when I go to select hero, I'll go back to that real quick. Just to kind of show you, that thing's ugly, whatever it is. But, like I said, I can switch between her and switch right back to my fighter, which is great. Enter the world and go back to where I left off at. And you could, as you can see here, you can make 5 different heroes if you want, which is great. This game, I took a chance on with not knowing anything about it. And I took just looking at the trailer And interestingly enough, on the PlayStation Store, there was no trailer. There was just a game broadcast, and nothing was playing. So I had to go on YouTube to watch the trailer, and I was like, "This looks cool. I think I might buy that. It's only $20, so you know." I saw that on Tuesday when it came out, so I had to wait till Thursday on payday, and I bought it. And I was like, "This is really good." And the more that I played it, the more I just fell in love with it. I just thought it was this great game. And I like the fact that you make multiple characters. They look pretty good. They're kind of cartoonish, almost like a World of Warcraft style in not the game world, but like the characters. And I just like that. And that was unexpected to see little animated crystals around the staff. I love that. So no, it's just a fantastic game. It really is. And I totally want to say, excuse me for yawning so much, but I want to say this. I totally recommend this game. It is a great game and totally worth your time. I'll show you the fighter. Now, I got that helmet in my last playthrough, and I need to color it for the rest of the character to match the motif. But yeah, fighter's great, and looks great right there with the subtle things in it. You can see a little chainmail kind of scale mail looking thing, and I give him, like I said, the Warhammer classic blue gold colors, which from the Ultramarines, and he's pretty badass. You can see little details in the axe, which I like, ornate, and in the shield you can see like just some of the ornate details. Oh, in combat, yeah, okay. So let me switch over to Gillidan, and we're going to enter the world. But yeah, this is great. I just love it. I just love this game. And I just didn't think that it would be something that I was surprised. Like, I was very surprised how much I ended up really liking this game. So I got to resume it, or I can hit new and start from the beginning. Now, I get why they did where you can start from the new, because the enemy's level scale, that would help you grind some levels and do stuff. So some people dislike level scaling in games. Some people love it, for the challenge. It's just, for me, I can take it or leave it. Like, sometimes it's helpful, but sometimes it's like, damn it, it's kind of a nuisance, like, because you never feel like you're powerful enough or whatever. So this is my fighter. As you can see, I've gotten other skills on the other side of the table there. There are two-handed weapons, one-handed weapon, my shield here, I can block. I also have a shield throw. Like I said, boom, there's that. Fighters definitely can take a lot more punishment. And I have almost 500 hit points. And you're just basically hacking and slashing. To use your other abilities, I have L1. I can turn to stone. Like so, see, here's my stone skin. See how it's slowly falling apart? But that's pretty neat. I have, I can't use those. The L2 says, there's my shield bash. R2, that says requirement not met. Well, that's a two-handed weapon skill. I've been meaning to go in and just remove them. Like I said, you have your shield throw. I have the ability to like rush, boom, which stuns people, and it has pretty much across the map range, which is great, and that messes them up bad. And I have like I said, the ability to block by holding down triangle. Your items you use on the D-pad, like that's health potions, you just hit up to use them. Again, my block button, and of course I have that ability. That is like a cure my wounds kind of thing. Like I said, all the classes have ability to heal themselves at various degrees. And then I have a R1 ability, which throws down like earth spikes. It does a lot of damage, but they have to be close. And this would be the second boss. He's considerably harder than the wolf guy. He's a fighter himself, and he's pretty much badass. got him with the shield throw. And playing as the fighter, it is very different from the wizard. Oh crap, he just kind of appeared. Again, you're going to come across a little tiny things like that, little pop in here and there. And again, it's an indie title through and through. No, I gained new abilities, which I'll go over to my abilities real quick. So, the ones here that you see here, except shield throw, I earned that ability at like level 2. The stone skin I learned at like level 3. And these are all the abilities that are at the top there. Those are all the stuff I'll learn as I gain levels, but they slowly unlock. Like, I don't really need this. It's this one, it is a two-handed weapon ability, and that's a two-handed weapon ability. But I can select it, move it over, and just for one-handed abilities. My shield throw, I selected, put it on circle. Originally, it was over on this side. You can change sets, so for different builds. And because in your inventory, you have different, you have different weapon sets there. So you can go down here, find a two-handed weapon, for example, and then switch between them. In inventory, I want to switch to that, I want to switch to this. It's pretty cool. So there is a lot of flexibility in the characters, and again, love it. It's a great game. Like I said, it's like playing a lot of different types of games, and hats off to the people who made this. I mean, I really give them credit, and I know people are going to shit on it. They're going to say, "Oh, it's terrible." Yeah, and the co-op. What I like about the co-op, man, is that it's 2-player split screen, 3-player split screen, 4-player. So if your buddy owns the game, you can play it too, and it's great. Like when you go to the split screen menu, it just lets you say activate a new player's controller. You can also go into the online options, which are not here, but you can do that. And I think too, let me look at your controls. I believe you can, so you can rebind stuff too. If you don't like R to be a jump and you wanted it to be X, you could do that. I mean, you could do what you need to do to change stuff if you wanted to. So it's pretty neat. This is where I'm at in the game. You gotta, again, it's back to I've got to find the switches to open the doors of the next boss. It's not always that though. It's not always like, oh, okay, I'm in the next section, go find the switches, the door opens, blah blah blah. No, it's not so cut and dry. Not everything is like that. It's just these first two you have to do that. And even though that this is the main door that's locked, let me come back down here. You're going to want to go, you just want to find one of the rooms that has it. These hallways are not going to have it. The switch, you're going to come down here. This is just another section that, again, doesn't have it. So this is all about, again, you get into learning the layout. And as big as the stuff is, I never really felt lost. I could always tell where I was going and what I needed to do. One of the switches will be down this way. These little back rooms. Throw my shield out. That got me. That is hard to hit people with. I know she's not really attacking. That's another one of the things in the game. Sometimes the enemies kind of get stuck and don't know what the hell they're doing, and sometimes to your advantage. It doesn't happen very often. It is rare. It's a rare little bug in the game. But sometimes the enemies will just sit there and you're attacking them and they're stuck, so they won't do nothing. So I really don't need to go down those curtain rooms. That guy. And like I said, I can do the cure stuff right there and cure myself. should be able to he stunned me. I expect I can heal without having to like stop necessarily. I just gotta do it. But don't get me wrong, you start, like you said, you start fighting a lot of stuff in here. And the enemies and whatnot, and they just, you can get overwhelmed. Be careful. I heal again. Yeah, it's just something. Once I get there is a online because that's yeah, that doesn't hurt. One of my abilities let me heal a little bit of damage, but see here, some reason my character's like stuck, and it's another one of those weird bugs that happens. But let me go back to town. I saw the ability to create rooms. We're gonna go back to town. Let me do something real quick. And character ability journey. Yeah, see, party. You can find the party right here. Public party. Find a party. Pick the dungeon you want to like go to. Dark Hollow, Grasslands, Lair of the Serenids. Different difficulties and where you want to meet at in the party. So, and it shows your friends to invite. So I can invite people to the party, obviously, but that's pretty cool too. So yeah, I mean it's a really neat, like I said, it's a really neat little game. I want to actually go into the blacksmith real quick, so I want to change my character's helmet to reflect the color scheme I'm working with here. So there we go. So now everything's kind of, let's see here. I might have to do the same thing for my gauntlets too there. So I don't think I've changed those colors either. Nope, I didn't. Yeah, we'll just do those colors. Maybe blue. Now we'll do gold. There we go. So as you can see here, now I've got my character, you know, kind of fixed up here. Yeah, this is simple, but you know, weirdly enough, you know, being that it does have a simpleness about it, I agree with you. It's such a cool game though. Like my character looked nothing like that at the start. And now I'm all colored out, capes and with the colors, and yeah, they said originally it was going to have a hub world, but I guess they dealt with that. And I'm okay. And again, weird that it has no voice acting. I mean, there's GameCube games from 20 years ago of voice acting, but there's something very old school about this game that I like, almost a retro vibe, with that new school kind of aesthetics of totally feels like a PC title with your abilities where you would put like bind them to different parts of keys. But I like the fact that from this fighting the champion character to, you know, playing a wizard, they felt very different. And it was neat because it has that, you know, you could literally make a wizard and just paint them red and be like, red wizard, you know, has gained a level. I mean, it has that almost gauntlet aesthetic in a way, and I love it. It's such a great game. The fact that this came out at $20, it's a steal. $21.19 tax. People, Gaming Roundtable alumni, and of course our subscribers to Unpaid Gamers, you gotta buy this game for $20. You can't go wrong. just look past what I'm seeing you here, because there's almost no reviews on this game. There's nothing hardly about this game. Like, you really should try to play this game. It is so much fun. It's a pure fun game to play. It's third-person Diablo, essentially. It's fantastic. It's just a really unique, different, cheap, $20. You cannot go wrong. All the different loot, random generated loot, the different builds, quests, it's just classic, action RPG. I mean, you can't beat it. And not for the money, and not for the price, and to support a company that, this could have been, this could be a lot of different things. It just reminds me of a lot of different games that I've played over the years, and it's kind of the best of both worlds. I love it. So, total recommendation. Out now on the PS4. I am assuming it is out on Xbox. And I know it's on PS5, so it is on the newer system, so you are going to get a graphical fidelity overhaul, which is really cool. Yeah, totally. It's really cool that it is on the new systems. I've heard that it looks even better. The graphics fidelity is better. It is not on the Nintendo Switch, but I haven't been on the Switch to see any coming soon. If it is coming soon, I'm surprised it's not. This would be great on the Switch, by the way. This would be a perfect game for it, especially if you're wanting an action RPG to play and you're traveling or doing something, which I'll be doing soon, going to Rochester, and I was looking for this game on there. But it's totally great game. I totally recommend the game. $21.19 on the PSN store. Best scene since the Matrix. John just said best scene since the Matrix. It's kind of an inside joke where it seemed like after the Matrix came out, every movie that was action that came out said that best scenes since the Matrix, which was funny, and it's totally hilarious, but totally true. But this has been my video. Went over a little bit of an hour on Dungeons of Sundaria. It is a fucking recommend, and who has 2 thumbs and recommends Dungeons of Sundaria? This guy. And this has been another great episode of the Gaming Roundtable. Sorry, it's been a while since I made a video. Love this game, and there'll be more to come here soon from the Gaming Roundtable. Please check out Unpaid Gamers on YouTube.com and Twitch.com, and especially YouTube. That's where we kind of primarily focus on. Please subscribe to Unpaid Gamers. Please subscribe to Post-Human Guy. Ban Loss, if he's still with us, and please subscribe to the Gaming Roundtable. And if you have any questions, comments, or recommendation for me to play something, I'd love to hear from you guys. Please write me at unpaidgamersupg@gmail.com. That is I said this all wrong. Gaming Roundtable upg@gmail.com. Scratch that last one. It is Gaming Roundtable upg@gmail.com. And please subscribe to our channels. Definitely, like I said, recommendation, absolutely 2 thumbs up. Dungeons of Sundaria, old school meets new school meets whatever you want to say. I love it. So please check it out, and we'll see you on the next episode of the Gaming Roundtable. And as always, gamers, good gaming.